Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play To Eat a God. Last time we finished Act 1, which was a little while ago. Not gonna lie, but I want to go and see what happens next with Septem's route. So I'm gonna decline. Septem doesn't hesitate for a single second before making your head explode. Well, bad end. ... Okay, go back again. Eject and summon Raphael. You're prepared to say his name, praying to every kind of entity that this works. Well, if not, Septem will kill you. I want audience with Raphael. What? Septem falls to the floor as if an invisible weight fell on top of him when pronouncing the name of his counterpart. And you stay there, waiting for something to happen. It doesn't. In progress of revelation, you have to wait a bit longer for this date. Darn. Okay, fine. Accept. I accept. Septem extends his hand to you and takes it firmly. You feel like electricity is running through your body, and Septem's smile grows bigger with each passing second. I'll start with the preparations. After that, Septem teleports you to your room to the end of the day. As you settle into bed, he tells you that tomorrow you'll dine without his company until dinner, and he leaves the room without further explanation, politely saying goodbye to you. You close your eyes for a while. You see a figure appear in the darkness. But when you focus your eyes on the figure, it vanishes. The shock makes you fall to the ground. Hello, YN. I see that you made a decision. There's no point in insisting any further. I suppose Septem's ideology has always been the right one, and our plan is the most selfish and easiest to execute. Who are you? Why are you speaking to me? You hear a dry laugh. What, can mother have a conversation with her child? I'm the mother of your puppet, the first puppet made from my flesh and the fragment of Null's soul, to be able to contain you. And likewise, I'm the mother of the garden. I can only communicate with Null thanks to the stupid laws decreed by the Creator. Who's the Creator? So the only communication I have with the outside of it is with Null. And no, he's not very open to hearing our solutions now that you're here. I kind of figured his route is go stabby on them all. But I can reach you thanks to the puppet, and probably because I have no soul in that, connected to the puppet. And with you here, out of Null's reach, I can get what I want without harming anyone within the garden. If you get the chance, tell Septem to let me go. If you speak to Septem, perhaps he can come up with something to get me out of this darn damnation. Why have you been condemned? Yes, it was the Creator or Father, whichever you call him here. He and I were equal, both omnipresent entities created by a being from a higher plane. So is it basically Chuck? aka God. Although it's not worth discussing this being, since no one here can lay hands on him, as if the case of YN. And there's probably an infinite loop of entities creating other entities. What happened was that the Creator, seeing my history, deemed me dangerous to the inhabitants of the garden for having opened Noel's eyes in times past. Therefore, he condemned me to be segregated and to sustain the garden with my body. I both love and hate the garden. I'm alive because of it. I have the connection with every entity in the garden, each and every one. I feel everything from 1 to 7. I feel their agony. I make placebos. I bring humans with Noel's help, all to avoid feeling their collective pain, even if it means breaking my physical body over and over again. It's useless. I can't get out of here. I can't protect my children. I can't even have a conversation with them. And yet, I know them like the back of my hand. I know those worries. I know tries, anger, quincus, alonius. I know how broken Septem is. I can feel and hear their prayers, desperately begging their father to come back and fix everything. Well, I guess he went to get milk and just never came back. He's basically truck. But he's not going to come. He's too proud for that. He's just watching it burn with popcorn in hand. And honestly, he doesn't care. Septem is just one among many. Mother sighs heavily, and her world shifts. I have no problem letting the garden keep living. But my individuality, my being, my omnipresence can no longer endure. So please tell Septem to strip me of my individuality, to hear my body in the void, eternity in the endless cycle of destruction and regeneration. I know my body in essence must be present, but my individuality is not necessary. I know Septem can do something now that he has you here. I trust he can fix it. Now that he has new eyes that are not tied to the Creator, that can heal and eliminate all the Creator's curses. And if you get the chance, I want you to break the eyes of each of the symbols. Wait, you just want me to take eyes? Like actually just take their eyes? I don't think I can do that. I don't really like touching my own eyes, including Septem's. I won't risk that butthole noticing the change of command, because I don't know how he might react. Something prevents you from staying in a dream. It's Septem's voice, heard in the distance. You open your eyes abruptly, searching for the cause of a near mini heart attack you're experiencing. Septem is nowhere to be found in your room. It must have been part of the dream. Lion, it's time for the puppet to go eat. Or perhaps not. Definitely not. Just like he has digital microphone or what do you call brain fart intercom. You struggle to get up. It seems you haven't rested at all. You walk through the corridors like a robot, knowing exactly where the dining hall is. Upon arrival, the dishes appear in the blink of eye. Today, I won't dine with you. How strange. You sit down and eat in silence. Bite after bite, you finish your breakfast. Unsure what to do, you get up. What's fine, Septem? You have nothing to do but search for Septem. That's either it, or wait until dinner to end the day. This is starting to bore you a bit. It's like, no, I just want to torment him. He probably doesn't want us to visit, so we're gonna annoy him. You roam the entire tower level of the temple with little success. The room where Septem sleeps is open and unoccupied. It doesn't even seem to have been used today. That's strange. You wonder if he might be on the second floor of the temple. After all, didn't traverse the tower corridor he saw earlier. Making one last attempt, he climbed the stairs in search of Septem. You don't hold much hope of finding him. You also think he's outside the domain. It's like he's probably fighting people. No. You walk down the corridor, taking in all it has to offer, which isn't much. Until you reach the end of the corridor and come across an open door. One of those that should be closed. You hesitate before entering, but Septem said you could roam his domain, and you don't consider it transgression to enter an open door. Nope, just go right in. It's practically inviting you in. It definitely is. Ooh, bookshelf. Upon entering, the first thing you notice is a multitude of shelves filled with books. Then you notice papers on the floor, scattered and abandoned. Oh, I get to read. Oh, there he is. This is dead and just pulls out book. It starts reading. He wakes up, he just sees me, and I'm like, hi. Upon fur, you see Septem at what appears to be his desk. It's spacious, but cluttered with books and documents, hindering its effective use. The eyes on Septem's face don't look directly at you, yet you feel that the eyes adoring his halo do. Wyan, do you need anything? He speaks to you without lifting his face or eyes from the document he's reading, and it's then they notice his eyes are red and dark, circles and begin to appear. Haven't you slept? Septem stops looking at the paper and offers you his tired gaze. No. The only thing he tells you before once again fixing his eyes on the document. If you come here out boredom, you could read something from the library, but you must go somewhere else to read it. Can I stay here? ... No. Take a book and leave, please. Not feeling like tempting fate, you head to the first shelf to find and pull out the first book you see. I see all books. Can I take all books? Great, it doesn't even have a title or anything. But you don't want to linger any longer, so you leave the library at a slow pace. You figure that going to your room is the best idea. ... It's an old book, like a diary. You know it's handwriting. You know it's handwritten, but it features various typefaces within. It appears to be a conversation between two people, though you can't make out most of its content, since you're unable to read the content. So you focus on examining the drawings. Eyes? Oh yeah, eyes. They dip places, entities, and a few familiar faces. No, you see no on a few pages. Could it be Septem who wrote this? Upon reaching the final section, you know something. There's this emergence of two names. Their appearances vary within the typeface. Septem and Raphael. Is this a conversation between the two of them? You don't have to think, as you feel the strange presence in your body. As if they were forbidden material, you slammed the book shut and stole it in beside the bedside drawer. To calm yourself, you decide to wander the temple to pass the time. ... You called to have lunch, and afterwards you function on autopilot. Accustomed to this routine, you wander the corridors and Septem's temple once more, within any particular reason. You pass the library once again, and Septem remains there. You're not so out of it to bother him again. Oh no, let's walk in and grab more books and walk off. So you head back to your room. At this rate, you go crazy. Oh, look at the drawings again. You don't know how many hours have passed, yet Septem's voice interrupts your meditation. Wyan, come here for a moment. Septem doesn't wait as you're teleported to the centimeters from him. Septem doesn't wait as you're teleported just centimeters from him. It's like, I could walk, you know. I could walk. Septem, I could walk. I have 2 feet for a reason. You take 2 steps back to respect your personal space, and you have to tilt your head up to see his eyes. A conversing meeting with the daughters of the garden. They want to meet you. Is this a certain someone's wives? Because I want to get far away from them. I mean, which one? Me or the puppet? Or both? There's no both option. The puppet? Listen well, they have no idea that this is just a game to you. You must act as the new creator. Septem's voice trembles slightly, as if the thought of a new creator makes him anxious. Your replacement. If you behave, I'll do something entertaining for you later. He smiles and you send a shiver through your entire body, from your fingertips down to your stomach. Before you go, you must proceed carefully. The space will begin to disorient. If it's too much for your puppet, you can. Septem brings his hands to his tail and pulls out one of the eyes. Did he just tear out his eye? Septem watches you for a moment. This will help recalibrate its senses. Septem offers you the eye as if it were nothing special. Is it giving us an eye? I'm not giving it to you so you can keep it. Having more than 2 symbols in one place creates chaos. And for a mortal body, that's dangerous. It's like, no, I'm keeping it. Bye. Septem closes both of his eyes and begins to recite, while gesturing with his free hand. I grant part of my essence to Wyan's puppet for the duration of the meeting. You will be an extension of me, and I will be an extension of your puppet. We will be united in a weak temporary bond. Temporary, right. Septem opens his eyes again and stops making the gestures. If this works, we'll be able to. Septem stops speaking, as if debating whether to continue, and without further explanation, the eye is absorbed by your body, and I feel something change inside me. Wyan, why can't I feel you? I close my eyes trying to find you, but you're not there. What's this? His voice carries a tint of terror. I wish I always had that tone. I wish it always had that tone. You're a extension of him. What did you do with Wyan? Septem grabs me by the shoulders and starts squeezing tightly. He talks to me as if it's my fault, not his. What are you talking about? It's your fault. Your darn eye did something that broke the connection between Wyan and me. I lunge at him without thinking. Nothing else matters now. I grab off his wings and pull. And it hurts me too, but I don't care. I don't. I throw a punch with my other hand straight to his stupid face. Before my fist can connect to his cheek, he stops me by grabbing my hand with his. Uh-oh. Breaking my wrist with one squeeze. It hurts like 1,000 demons. I can't help but scream. The scream makes Septem let go and look at me with wide eyes. I examine the damage to my hand. It's broken. I can't move the joints of my fingers. My hand is no longer functional. I'm no longer useful to Wyan if they ever return. It can't be. Septem fixes his gaze on his hand for a moment, then looks at me in surprise. Have I hurt you? Yeah, kinda. Of course, you imbecile. Lion's still here, though, then. That shouldn't have hurt you without their presence and eyes. Now look at me. Look in Septem's eyes. Even though his expression intimidates and disgusts me, I don't want to suffer any more harm. After a few seconds of uncomfortable inspection, Septem smiles. Your pupils remain white. You're still under their control. It seems we only diminished their influence. That means they saw me act that way. How embarrassing. I'm not going to heal your hand. And don't think I'll forget this chimney's offense. I so hard imagining the horrific torture that could be inflicted on me. I surely will. Oh, definitely. Alright, come with me. Septem begins walking without waiting to see if I follow him. Sighing, I follow him, but Septem stops abruptly and turns to look at me. Wait, it would be odd for a new creator to be injured. They would ask me why. Septem will surely Septem will surely pester until she finds out. Will you heal me? I can't help but flash a smug smile at him. I'll be fully functional for Ryan once again. I'm so happy. Septem makes a face of disgust, but says nothing. He simply places both his hands on my broken hand. A strange sensation courses from my body, and I can feel the broken and missing parts setting back into place. Thanks, Septem. Septem's expression remains one of disgust. It's laughable, but fades instantly, as if remembering something. His face softens into a smile that reveals no teeth. Oh, I see teeth, though. Places a hand on my shoulder to give me free gel pats. Take it as a new opportunity to be broken from scratch. Oh, he'll just break the body repeatedly and then heal. And believe me, it will eventually happen. After all, Lion's a curious entity. Maybe they'll even enjoy reading that. Who knows? Breaking the fourth wall right there, Septem. Breaking the fourth wall. After all, Lion isn't the one affected. It's true. Well, we walk in silence after that. The walk is long, with each of the steps echoing throughout the space. The sound of our steps bouncing off the walls, like an echo that follows us. We arrive at a giant door, which quickly opens to us through. The space inside the door is strange, dark and unsettling, not like the void of Null. It reminds me of night, full of stars that appear to appear and disappear. Oh, here they are. The room, there are 4 figures. The one closest to us are engaged in conversation, as if nothing else mattered. They're very close to each other, I suppose. They must have some sort of relationship. They're about to press their lips together when Septem makes his presence known by stepping into the room. Both entities look up curiously. Septem laughs with a hint of tenderness, and is strange. Don't let your guard down. Septem? The voice resonates throughout the entire space. Then the entities fix their eyes on me, as if they were some kind of freak. If I were some kind of freak. No, they're watching me as if I were the main attraction of a circus. Great! The first in 3-headed entity approaching. Then we kind of kill the nose route. And closely behind follows an entity draped in red robe. There, noticing this, laughs and shakes her hand. Takes her hand. Don't be so tense, doll. They both approach us and greet Septem respectfully. With lowered eyes and Silent blow of the head. Horrible. This thing earns no one's respect. They look at me, and they gaze at me with the same devotion and respect as they did at Septem. I don't like it. There you are, YN. Yes, I answer with all the confidence I have. Thank you so much for what you're doing. We never thought we'll be heard by another being as powerful as you. Before I can answer, Septem opens his mouth. This creator isn't very communicative. He says while looking at me with piercing eyes. Okay, I get the hint. Darn it. Just like before, huh? They're dull and quitter. The fragment in the moon. I recognize them. They're from Septem's memories. Then the one at the table must be Septem and Sexum and Trey. Don't just stand there. Come on. I prepare tea. Septem walks straight to the table after Septem's call. And there two follow him too, like little ducklings following their mother. And if you were here, why, everything would be much easier. We sit at the table, which is ladled with all kinds of foods, both sweet and savory. However, no one eats except for Septem. There are entities interest themselves, though there's something odd about Septem. Are you the one staring at us? Yeah. Her eyes are fixed on mine, following my every move. I like her hair, though, but I try to ignore it. Smile and keep silent. That's what Septem wants so that we won't be caught in this lie. And that way, we'll be able to recover YN after this meeting. These talk about travelities that don't matter to me and I don't want to hear, but can be summoned up as them telling Septem what they've been up to. Much to dismay, he listens intently and responds eagerly, and without any passive-aggressive remarks. Incredible. Even his aura seems to have changed. Even though he still has that angelic face, this Septem is not the one I know. Who is this benevolent being, and what did he do to the original Septem? Oh, he's just being nice to them. It's familiarity. He disgusts me so much that I can long for the Septem I once knew. Honestly, I thought we'll all go crazy before turning to normal. It hurts that you don't have faith in me. It's not that. I know the situation is getting out of your hands. Dole makes an awkward comment. I'm glad you managed to find another creator. I think our midnight prayers really paid off. I hope this one is more responsible. It will be. I don't think so. What responsibility? When will Septem be able to regain the powers to create humans? I had to make some preparations first. That doesn't bother you, does it, Septem? Septem doesn't respond. Her eyes remain fixed on me. How frightening. Well, she knows we're human. Hi! These boys are Septem? Ah, Septem blinks a couple of times before fixing her gaze on Septem. Of course not Septem. I get their names mixed up. I know I wouldn't want to rush you and jeopardize YN's scared bod with the garden. I don't like this entity. To ignore the discomfort, I focus on eating. And the other entities look at me in surprise, though they say nothing. The rest of the meeting passes without much fuss or gory. It's like a family gathering, except that I'm the guest with no ties to anyone in the family. Oh, technically Septem. But somehow, everyone expects it. The moment of farewell arrives. and all entities affirm that they are very grateful to my intervention in the garden, stressing that they will do whatever it takes to make me feel proud. I could sense the uncertainty radiating from them. Why say that? Didn't the creator feel proud and leave them because of it? Oh no, they were just decided they were bored. How was their relationship with the former creator? Doll and creator have vanished together, leaving behind a trail of bright lights that blend together. The moment Troy vanishes, the room begins to change, transforming into a garden of Septem's domain. Only Septem and Septem remain, along with me. Septem, can we have a meeting tomorrow? Why not now? I have to go pray at the church. That's no longer necessary. Septem looks at Septem with a pain. I wish I knew why. All right, we'll talk tomorrow. I'll come visit you. Without saying another word, Septem lowers her hand in farewell and leaves, walking out of the door. There is silence between them. Septem glances at you sideways. You feel as if the weight has been lifted from off of you, and you realize it's because Septem has regained his seventh eye. What, Wyan? You're bound to me once again. Septem turns to face you. Welcome back, Wyan. He slowly raises his hand to touch your forehead. Good night, Wyan. See you tomorrow. And your vision begins to blur. Suddenly you stop hearing the faint, aberrant sounds. Dot dot dot, dot dot dot. Days have passed slowly in Septem's domain, where all you can do is eat and sleep. Septem barely interacts with you. His prefers spending most of his time in the library. You're convinced he hasn't slept in ages, and you expect that while you sleep, he remains absorbed in his reading. In the few times you've seen him, you notice the disturbing change in his appearance. His hands are entirely black, just like your hands, and you lost some sensation there. But there's nothing to worry about, Wyan. Your hands still work, right? I'll search for Septem. Septem, you're getting bored. You need to speak to Septem, whether to resolve some pending issues or simply for his company. Having decided that, he head to the library, intent on facing him directly. Then he's not at the library at all. Oh, he is. He looks frustrated. Probably should turn around. When you arrive, you find him with his hands on his head, overwhelmed by stress. It's odd to see him like this. Oh, it definitely is. Could that be something bad? It's odd to see him like this. It's clear that Septem is used to controlling everything, and everything beyond his grasp seems to overwhelm him. Make yourself noticed. I want to notice me, senpai. You gently knock at the ajar library door. Septem looks up, his gaze fixed on you, his expression silently questioning what you want and why you dare to interrupt him. I suppose it's been a long time without anything interesting, Wyan. He pauses for a prolonged moment, as if assessing your presence, then adds with a slight smile. Go ahead, I grant you permission to proceed. Will it harm you? Without broken bones or any outrageously disappointed death. You don't believe it? I don't trust it. We should go back. Enter. He entered the room slowly, carefully controlling every moment, so not to disturb anything. No abrupt movement, and neither too fast nor too slow pace. You approach his desk, but hesitantly. Should you sit? The answer comes quickly. No, not without his permission. You know the nature of the blonde. Well, define his roles. Even accidentally could have serious consequences. Well, let's do anyway. I'll see how far this goes. You don't want to die over something you could easily have avoided if you had been more attentive. Sit down. You do, though inside you can't help but feel a slight resentment. Recently, if I may add. Tell me, what do you need? The hands of my puppet. That wouldn't be a problem if I could find a solution quickly. The more days pass, the more your puppet will rot. Rot? The more you use it, the more you drain your life source. You never release the puppet to let it recover. Even when your puppet sleeps, you're still connected to it, making its time of usefulness pass faster. Septem takes off a garment covering part of his wrist and arm for some strange reason. It feels illegal to see that. His arm is being consumed by the black color that once only adored his fingers. We're in the same condition. Give me your hand. It was a question. Septem waits with his hand raised for you to give him yours. For some reason, you place your palm on his. The blonde man grabs your hand and squeezes it while examining it. With his thumb, he traces imaginary lines that occasionally stop to trace a new one elsewhere. You avert your gaze to focus on the face of the seventh. His sky-colored eyes are focused intently on the movement of his finger, and despite the presence his hand averts your experts on yours, you don't feel the slightest tickle. Do you feel that? No. A subtle smile graces Septem's lips, causing a shiver to run through your body. Gradually, the presence increases, but you can't remove your hand. You won't give him the suffocation of seeing your terror, neither on your face nor in your actions, since it doesn't hurt at all. Septem squeezes harder and harder, slowly but progressively. The feeling of presence slowly transforms into pain. You're sure your bones will give at any moment unless you manage to break free from his grip. Comes a point where you can't take anymore and yank your hand away to make it clear that that's enough. But Septem doesn't let you. Is something wrong, YN? Let this lump break it. What's the worst that can happen? Let's Septem break it. You let Septem break your wrist because you want to know what will happen if he does. YN? Septem lifts his gaze to look at your face, smiling sweetly, stopping the pressure increases but imitating it. I wish you could see the face your pup is making right now. It really hurts, and it doesn't want the fate being imposed on it. It's almost as if it were one of ours. But still, it won't do anything to change it, just to please you. I'm impressed by your puppet's convention, YN. It'll try to fulfill each of your commands, regardless of its integrity. I have to give it that recognition. There's a brief silence before the blonde decides how to continue this interaction. Septem guides your hand to his lips gently brushing against your knuckles. He's kissing our hand. He watches you. I wonder what expression you will make. Disgusted, embarrassment, neutral? Septem smiles and plants a kiss on you, a tender and delicate contact. Without further ado, Septem releases you and puts back on the garment covering his arm. Arisa talked about the puppet. You look terrible. Septem looks at you with narrowed eyes. Me? No. It's kind of a mortal body. It's this mortal's body's fault. Believe me, my intention is not to break it, but we're against time. When I find the solution, I'll let it rest for as long as it wants. About Mother. You tell him about what happened when you were asleep. Septon listens to you without interrupting or giving it an option. While you explain more, Septon's face takes an air of sadness. Although at one point during your explanation, Septum lifts his hand, silently asking you to stop. We'll talk about this later. I have other things to solve first. I find a way for us to join without enduring your spirits. Or mine will solve Mother's problem, but he will keep in mind. Goodbye. Was that all? Wait, one more thing. About the transformation. Transfusion. He looks distressed as he listens to you. He takes a moment before answering. I don't know how it will turn out. Septum speaks so slowly that it takes you a moment to understand him. Before you can ask him anything, he clears his throat in order to explain himself. When I gave you one of my eyes, it did turn out the way I expected. Something inside this thing forbids me from merging with you. Moreover, it will take away the little freedom you had to control the puppet. If we do the transfusion, I won't fulfill what I promised, and we'll both be absorbed by the puppet. If we continue as planned, it'll be a disaster. Septum remained silent for a long time. You don't know how to fill that awkward silence. Leave. He doesn't even give you a chance to make a decision as he teleports you to the room where you sleep. Like I have two eggs, Septum. You lie in bed, think of tomorrow. That tomorrow will be just another day like the one you had. You have to wait until Septum achieves what he seeks to do. Something more interesting. No matter how many hours pass, you can't fall asleep. And you wonder if it's due to the constant light and lack of darkness that makes it unclear when it's time to sleep. You figure a stroll through the temple won't hurt. Perhaps you move a little, sleep will eventually come. You wander the temple corridors, deliberately avoiding the library, because you really don't want to disturb Septum any further. You don't want to lose any part of your body today. As you pass by the altar room, you hear murmurs. You think you hear Septum's voice coming from there, sounding agitated. You approach to see if it really is him. You try to move as delicately as possible, as not to disturb the atmosphere, as Septum would surely notice any conspicuous sounds. It might be saved. I've been working hard to find a solution. Father, please. We're all praying for you. Always praying. Everyone's asking for your return. Septum isn't angry because you took her humans. I promise Noel regrets having done that to you. Oh, he doesn't regret it. Noel doesn't. It's nothing personal with you. It's just that you may remind him of. Peek your head out, and there he is, the blonde, kneeling before the altar with both hands clasped together as if supplicating. Now, from the distance, you can discern what those murmurs mean. It's such a strange sight, they don't know how to react. I'm gonna stay and listen. Septum takes a breath, meditating, and now still with his hands clasped together, looking at the sky and speaks. I don't know your name, Noel. Has never been willing to tell me, but please manifest yourself. I know you're here, one way or another. Understand, your puppet doesn't want to come back here, but I still miss it. As long as I long to see him again and speak with him to smooth my heart. Understand his hatred for Noel, his contentation. But don't you think that's too much already? Noel did something. I know you can undo the Demiurge has done and bring him back. I know you can do a lot of things, Chuck. I promise to do things right this time. I promise not to bore you. I promise to fulfill everything your puppets ask. I promise to be yours. I promise to do things right this time. As long as you bring him back and grasp a peaceful life, I don't want any chances. I prefer that everything goes back to the way it was before. What the heck? That sounds pathetic. But if you don't fix the garden, I'll be forced to replace it, and you, to change its owner. YN seems to be a good candidate. After all, they're still here, unlike you. Where's our milk? Where's our milk, Father? I could give him control. I could give them control and the rights to everything within the garden. Even if it means eliminating every trace of Father and yours. So please manifest yourself if you don't want me to do it. Septem waits for a long time, but there's no response of any kind. Realizing he's been ignored, he slowly rises and looks at the candle on the ceremonial table. Septem rises and sighs as he flexes his hair. Then he places both hands behind his back to look at the direction where you're hidden. You do know that eavesdropping is a tremendous sign of disrespect. Am I gonna have a deaf end now? You seem to like this. You seem to like me. You seem me like this, and I don't like it. I hear the music. I did bad. Startled, you fall into your rear. It was obvious, very obvious, that Septem knows you're here. You crawl backwards when you see Septem. Septem beginning to advance slowly towards you. You know, I think you do on purpose. You seek out these moments either to know what will happen or because you enjoy watching this puppet suffer. Or I just want to know, I just want to know more information on you. I didn't know it was going to tick you off. Totally not. Sarcasm right there. You're no better than me. You're a sadistic entity. No, I'm just a curious entity. Curiosity killed the cat, and then, the answer brought it back. You're paralyzed, unsure if it was out of fear, or was it something brought it back? I can't remember. You're paralyzed, unsure if it's out of fear or because Septem has mobilized you in one way or another. Septem's feet are dangerously close to your hand, and that is to say, who would like to see Septem places his foot on your hand, gently brushing the back of your hand with the sole of his shoe, as if to warn you of what he'll do. This. I also believe you do it because it doesn't have any real consequence to your integrity, YN. You don't care what happens to your puppet, and unfortunately, neither do I. I care about the puppet. I just want answers. It's a Groundhog Day for us anyway. Right, puppet? I could easily crush its hand. After all, I think it would be so necessary. It wouldn't be so necessary in the future. But today, I feel merciful. Septem laughs. The power dramatic between you and the puppet fascinates me. We both know that the puppet will do anything you tell it to do. So, what will you do? Not gonna lie, I would protect the puppet, but I want to see what happens if I just choose all the bad options. So, Nothing. Wow, you really want to see it. Ha. Well, who am I to, not to, but a host trying to make the guests feel comfortable enough to stay. The pressure on your hand intensifies, quickly turning into pain. Septem applies more weight into the sole of his shoe against your hand. Unable to move, you can only cry out pain. You are sure that if more time passes, your bones will break. If not, uh, if they're not already broken. You look up because you can't bear to watch your hand being destroyed in a matter of minutes. Though things aren't much better for you, Septem's expression is strange. His gaze is fixed on your eyes rather than your hands, as if searching for something in them that he still cannot find. He smiles more than usual. His cheeks are slightly flushed with pink. I can't believe I had control over you. I have control over a being like you. It's a shame it's only because you're connected to the puppet. Would love to see how you would really react if this eventually happened to you. Would you just cry or fight me? Septem glass. A being from the higher plane. Under my power. Ha. Crack. You can feel... you hear something break. You instantly know it's your hand. The pain is immense that you... so immense you lose consciousness instantly. ... A few days pass after that, and you begin to know something strange about Septem. Now he avoids you as much as he can. The library remains permanently closed, and every time you knock on the door, Septem tells you to leave. And that's not the strange part. The strange part is that his tone of voice is not that what you expect. It's a sound weaker and lower than each passing moment. If you're that at some point, you won't get a response. Oh, he's getting... it's all over his body now. One morning you see you're awakened by Septem, who is standing at the foot of the bed, smiling, but no longer look as angelic as before. He has dark circles that look as if they were tattooed onto his face in black ink. You suppose he hasn't slept in days. Perhaps he's been too busy reading and searching for whatever it is he seeks in the books of his library. I think I know what the problem is. What's he talking about? The identity of your puppet prevents me from establishing the bond. We need a complete empty body to join. We can't start the madness so early, please. You haven't even had your breakfast, and Septem has already begun his antics. Although you're grateful, he isn't commanding you in that harsh tone he usually uses. Not today. Today he appears anxious and stressed. We have to do it now. Let's go. This time Septem doesn't teleport you to his destination. Instead, prefers to walk. I think he lost it. I think he's losing his power. But his way of walking is slow, as if he struggles to feel pain, or feels pain moving. I think he feels pain. At this rate, they'll alive tomorrow. Ask if he needs help. Septem pauses to his walk and turns his head to look at you. His brows furrow, sealing your fate. You should have asked that. Do you intend to help me? For a fraction of a second, you notice his eyebrows raising, evoking an expression you never would have imagined seeing. He looks vulnerable, although that look is almost instantly erased. Me? He asked if he didn't believe it. You lean on as if you can lean on me if you need to. Septem does not respond verbally. He simply closes his eyes and inhales through his nose before drawing closer to you. He designs not to give you anything more than that, choosing instead to wait for you to react or accept it. He looks uncomfortable. It's clear he doesn't like the position he's in. Vulnerable and with no choice but to depend on you. With slow movements and making sure to show him your hands are still your hands at times. Septem watches you intently. Slowly you wrap one of your arms around his waist. That's all that blonde needs to tense his body. Septem places a hand on top of yours and squeezes weakly, as if unsure of what to do next. He senses that he's not accustomed to the physical contact, or perhaps he feels some kind of pain. But if it's hurt him, he won't even have to touch him. You don't want to have to touch him. No, let go of me. Without further ado, he releases your grasp, and in the process his ankle twists from a misstep. If it wasn't for his reflexes, he would have already been on the ground. You simply stare at him. It feels strange to see him without that grace he usually exhales in his movements. And if it's nothing but had happened, Septem brings his hands together. In doing so, both of you are teleported. You both appear in the altar room, but you don't get a chance to expect as you see Septem fall to the ground. As you watch him there, practically on the ground, you hear him cough. He tries to clear his throat. Once he has nothing left to cough, Septem freezes. You truly believe he must feel some degree of shame at being seen in such a state as so human. Oh, it feels liberating to see him like this. Sorry, this body can't take any more. Raphael, no! It's like, I'm like, because he's the vessel. He raises it with difficulty and gives you a quick glance. There are traces of blood on his lips and chin. It's serious. Seeing his bleed is as bizarre as thinking that Septem might actually die. Can he die? Technically anything can die. Perhaps his physical body can. As best as he can, he makes his way to the candle that adorns the ephemeral altar table. He touches the dome, giving it a solemn look, as if he wanted to feel its warmth up close. The answer was always here. As part of fodder, his flesh is here, material of a primeval god. We will use it to create a complete divine body. Septem offers you his hand and waits for your response. I know you still have many doubts. I promise you that we will join together. You will know everything without the need for me to explain it to you. You will see everything You will see everything through my eyes. You will become one. We will become one and leave behind those fetile bodies. What will happen to our bodies? Mine will regain its individuality. Yours, unfortunate, will have to die. I can't risk any trace of Knowles walking through the garden. Uh-oh. What? Do you suppose I'm from Knoll? You're mistaken. I only serve YN. I don't suppose I know it. My eyes sensed it when I bonded with you. Oh. Uh-oh. He has access to you, and once you set your eyes on him, it will be the beginning of the end. You must let go of YN. Then what am I going to be doing? Where's my body? No, YN, don't do this to me. Septem looks at you in silence. You have to do something to let them live. ... You care about the puppet? Please, I'm trying to help you. Don't let them die. Maybe we could think of something. Septem begins to cough again. We must hurry, or he will die. Is he referring to his puppet? You mean Raphael? Give me your hand. You grasp his hand tightly, and Septem begins to recite the chants in words you can understand. Father, will this sacred body I shall fulfill my ultimate will for a new age without your presence or condemnation. I will take both souls and merge them into one, creating individually in creating divinity in a body and soul, and forgive us for our offense. Something in the room changes. The space gradually disappears, leaving behind the absolute light, where only you, Septem, and the candle remain. Gradually, that white begins to mutate, giving rise to small flashes of light and dust. The candle expands its form with each passing minute, stretching out abnormally. Searching for a form, searching for a figure, searching for a perfect form of a human body. Transfer the eyes of this greater entity into a new body. Feel an intense pain in your eyes, as if they were being pressed against your skull, as if they were burning them, as if they were being torn out by force. Transfer my essence into this new body, and let them become one. You stop seeing, you stop hearing, everything turns black. The blinding light floods your mind, restless and unwilling. It's irritating, and the only way to escape it is to open your eyes. But it's incredibly difficult, and as if something is still holding you back from doing so. You try, but to no avail. Your eyes refuse to obey your commands. Until a spark runs through your entire body, from your feet to your head. Lion, this is going to hurt a little. You hear Sutton's voice, but nothing, not for your ears. But no, his voice originates inside your mind, as if he speaks directly into your thoughts. You don't have time to focus on the voice. As your skin begins to burn, you feel it's tearing apart slowly, painfully, and tortuously. Then your entire body starts to change. You feel bones and organs exploding and forming inside you, and placing those that have any imperfections. You want to scream, but you hold it in. Just when you think the worst of it's over, you feel your heart tear over and over again without attempt. It's never satisfying, never turning out the way you want. No, it has to be perfect. You try once more and that's it. You open your eyes and your vision is... all I can see is a blinding light of your mind. The fear creeps in. Is this a bad end? It's strange to see with these eyes. Something's terribly wrong. You're still not fully synchro. You look at your eyes and your hands and... am I his body? They're Septem's hands, but they no longer have this distinctive black hue. You're in Septem's body. Do you like it? I miss his body. Okay, I can live it. Though we won't be like this for long. Now we have the creator's power. I could create you an entire new body. Physically separating from mine, but connected in soul. But I need time. In the meantime, we can say that I'm your puppet now. I think he likes this. You can use me the way you used your old one. Are you sure about that? Some deafens a whole bunch. How lovely. End of Act 2. In the progress of reparation, you have to wait a little while to find out how this ends. And that was Septem's Act 2. If you want my content, please subscribe, like, help out, and comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.